Good day, students! Welcome ulit sa Leadership and Management in Different Arts and Fields. My name is Miss Wildy Anne G. Villanueva at ako ang magiging teacher ninyo sa subject na ito. Ito ang Lesson 4, The Range of Art Contexts. Nasa Chapter 2 na tayo ng pag-aaral natin sa subject na ito. Marami pa tayong tatalakayin under Chapter 2. Ito ay ang different context of art encounters. Sa mga susunod na lesson, pagkatapos nitong lesson na ito, ay tatalakayin natin ng mas malalim at mas maraming mga examples ang mga lessons patungkol sa art institution, communities, and art market or artist-run initiatives. In this chapter, we will go into discuss the different contexts of arts production, namely institutional, community, market, and artist-run initiatives. There are different contexts upon which one encounters the arts, or kung saan natin sila nakikita. It is also designed to help the reader to distinguish from one another. Lagi nating tandaan that contexts are all about relationships. They may vary according to the space and where projects occur and arts managers who organize them. And these are the people who mediate the encounters between the arts and your audience. Bakit your audience? Kasi you will become an arts manager someday. Where art is encountered and who mediate the encounters are distinct and not mutually exclusive categories. Ngayon, magbibigay ako sa inyo ng mga examples ng different attraction na makikita sa local communities. Context may also be situated in metropolitan centers, where projects are led by institutions that operate on a national, regional, or even international scale. Institutions may also make their presence felt in local communities. Maaring nadadaanan or dinadayo. Bigay tayo ng example. The Higashi Junction at night in Osaka City, Japan. Another one is the Chinese giant man-made waterfalls. The idea of this waterfall came from the company president, Zhu Songtao, who said he wanted to promote the city's green image. Parang may naaalala akong ganitong klase ng building dito sa may Manila. Guyang is a city of mountains and with many trees, just like a forest. He wanted to create a feeling of water and greenery, and even when you are surrounded by skyscrapers. Cheng said. Naririnig niyo ba yun? Nakaka-relax, diba? Sige. Can you cite a building or area near in Metro Manila where you can find also this kind of vibes? Ako may natatandaan ako, pero hindi siya waterfalls. Pero green building siya. Siguro meron din kayong iba sa ibang lugar, sa province. Comment down below. Tingnan natin muli ang susunod na mga slides para sa iba't ibang examples ng art encounters sa context ng institution. Context may also be described in terms of the relationship between arts and economics. Art is mediated by forces in the market. Entrepreneurs may have a creative enterprise out of their love for the arts. Ginagawa nila ito bilang negosyo nila, pero dahil sa pagmamahal nila sa arts, nagiging 2-in-1 siya. Mahal mo yung ginagawa mo, pero kumikita ka dun sa output na nagawa mo. Artists themselves may establish an organization or solo venture and deal with their market directly in order to sustain themselves through their craft. The context of encounters with arts are therefore mapped by social, political, and economic powers. And in each context, there are mediators. Inulit ko, na magfa-facilitate ng encounters or art encounters between your audience and your artworks. May idea ka na ba kung sino at ano ang mediators na tinutukoy dito? Magbigay tayo ng examples dito sa context na ito na artist-run initiatives or the market of arts. Sino-sino itong mga successful entrepreneurs nito na mahilig sa arts at kumita or yumaman dahil sa arts? We have the Canva owner, a Filipina-Australian co-founder of Canva, and now she is the third richest billionaire woman in Australia. We also have a different successful Filipino entrepreneurs who started small. And now, let's begin our lesson for today. And this lesson explains the importance of Philippine art forms and cultural forms in the community, which means the clusters or the residents, regions, ancestral lands, or in province. Pag-aaralan din natin ang context and art encounters in metropolitan areas or centers. And the students will learn the basic cultural mapping. Kasi magbabalik tanaw tayo sa mga histories and enumerates the local different types of organizations and provides arts and cultural resources. And identify arts and cultural organizations and structures for both contemporary and traditional art forms. Okay, let's begin with the artisans and collectives in the community. Paano nagka-arts sa probinsya? Paano nagkaroon ng arts encounters dun? Alamin natin. Artisans and collectives in the community. A community is a group of individuals or families associated with one another by reasons of shared ethnicity, shared language, shared histories, or shared interest in self-determination by Gans, 1996, Erickson, 1997, and Weber, 1997. They may be situated sa mga lugar gaya ng geographical boundaries na nagkakaroon sila ng separate identities. Mga ethnic groups, alam naman natin na napakaraming ethnic groups dito sa ating bansa. Art as encountered in communities are ritual-based. Bakit ritual-based? Ano nga ba ang ritual? What makes a ritual a ritual? A ritual is a sequence of activities involving their gestures, maybe their words or actions, malamang their performance in sequestered place according to the set of sequence na nakasanayan at ginagawa nila lagi. Rituals may be prescribed by the traditions na community nila and napakalaking bahagi nito ang religious community. They are often related to, nakalagay, myths, customs, and traditions. Kasama rin dito yung kung paano sila nag-harvest, yung time ng fishing nila, and the like, maging yung kung paano sila nagpapagaling dun sa lugar nila. Another one is, artists are considered as culture bearers. They are acknowledged by members of the community as the experts or the most knowledgeable in art form they are identified with. And yung mga kaugalian, cultures na ginagawa nila doon sa community nila ay tinitiyak nila na naipapasa nila sa mga younger generations. Another one is art as encountered in communities have strong social component. Ano ibig sabihin doon? They are not considered products. They do not exist for profit. The encounters happen according to the community's notion, time, and seasons. Nakagisna na at nanggaling na yung art encounters na yon doon pa sa kanununuan nila. The national agencies and the sub-commissions are tasked to interact with these communities for purpose, for documentation, and for bidding support services in order to preserve and reserve these art forms na meron na talaga tong communities na to. These art forms are comprised with tangible and intangible heritage through the government agencies. And natutunan nga natin nung nakaraang lesson na tangible heritage composed of craftsmanship or the different evidence or material evidence and creations ng certain people. And intangible heritage naman ay what? Stories? Correct? Songs? Another? Dances and other performances na ginagawa ng mga artists. Itong mga pinag-uusapan natin na tangible and intangible heritage ay makikita sa artisans and collectives sa different communities. Bibigay tayo ng maraming example mamaya. And napakalaking tulong ng government, ng NGOs, and lalo ng schools of living traditions na nagpo-promote, nagsusuporta at nagko-consolidate halos lahat ng mga arts and documentations in certain communities na yun. And sa mga susunod na chapters, pag-aaralan natin at ano ba yung SLT na tinatawag. Mahabang proseso to. Artisans forms collectives on their own. At times, they have their support from the government, gaya ng sinabi ko kanina, civil society groups, and also the NGOs to reach out and encourage art-based practices from different ethnicities, different cultures, and communities. Okay, magbigay tayo ng iba't ibang examples regarding sa schools of living tradition and gaano sila kahalaga. First example, dito sa picture na ito is an actual photo in Manobo Chieftain conversing with SLT learning facilitators. Another example is the Hollywood carving by cultural master Cipriano La Chica as demonstrate basic carving in front of SLT students. This is an actual photo. Another example, a young learners with their cultural master sa outdoor naman ito, SLT learning session. Another are the young Blaan learners being taught by a cultural master of traditional Blaan dance called Maral Tahu. Punta na tayo sa pangalawang art context, which is art institution. Sa lesson na ito, pag-aaralan natin ang 4 na institutions, which is art institutions run by the government, art institutions run by the private entities, crossovers with the creative industries, mga business owners, and artist-run initiative. Business as pa rin ito, pero owned by an artist. What is art institution? It is an institution or an organization with established hierarchies, structures of authority, and channels of communication. Ibig sabihin, businesses and organization na talaga siya and form na talaga. The number of manpower supports and experts depends on whether the institution operates in national, regional, or municipal level. The institution can always network with international partners. And sa mga nakaraang lessons, may mga examples na ko na Filipino-owned siya, pero nag-ooperate din siya sa ibang bansa. Let's start with an art institution run by the government. It is an institution that may be run by the states or state agencies, local government units, and regional units na nag-ooperate under the state. It is an institutions under different categories that are assumed to exist for the interest of the public. They serve the constituents of the state or the local through the holistic education. Nagpapaseminar sila. Institutions like this are classified under the public sector. Example nito ay ang DTI. Every municipality ay mayroong DTI. Ang kinokollect na to ay ang mga produkto, local products na community. Binibenta online, binibenta doon sa shop mismo ng DTI. So, kung merong malapit na DTI dito, maaari kayong pumunta doon at mag-visit. Pwede kayong mag-franchise ng ibang mga businesses, ng mga local owners at bumili ng mga products. They usually have the office or the center funded by the state, kagaya nito, which may serve as a venue for visual and performing arts. The manpower support or the experts are also funded. Kagaya ng mga regular staff, meron silang mga salaries, and yung mga expert naman, meron silang mga honoraria na tinatawag. And yung honoraria serve as compensation naman ng mga artists or experts. In any case, the goal is to serve the public. These are not profit-generated. The state financially support the museums from the common fund derived from the taxes. Magbigay tayo ng examples. National museums, nag-exist to for public trust and sinusustain to through sa taxes ng mga Filipino. Another one is an art institutions run by the private entities. An institution may also be private run by corporation. The corporation may be running the institution either as part of their CSR or through the foundation attached to it. The institution may also be run by the foundation. Ang purpose nila is to support the art because they have necessary financial means and social connections to do so. And madalas, yearly nila to ginagawa kapag may anniversary or something sineselebrate ang mga corporations, and meron namang mga business owners na talagang meron na talagang another organizations or foundation na tinatawag para lang dito sa mga artists na ito, para ma-fund yung certain museums or galleries. The involvement of such individuals is projected as a philanthropic in nature. And such institutions always have a physical location that can be considered as their office or yung foundation nga na tinatawag. And they also have the venue where is a leisure or real estate complex, maybe a school, funded schools or separate physical structures. The manpower supports or the experts are funded by the corporation or the philanthropic individuals. And what else? The decision concerns of art forms to promote this kind of features are undergo sa malaking process kasi corporation ito eh. And the full of experts may be consulted, but the final decision are from the board members or the owners of the corporation. The corporate institutions and foundations may support an artist on a long-term or short-term basis, sponsor competitions, and publish materials about artists and their artworks. They can also establish venues for the visual and performing arts at times. We have the Ayala Museum, run privately by the Ayala Foundation Incorporated, houses permanent exhibits of rich archaeological facts and historical collections. Proceed na tayo sa pangatlong art institution, which is the crossovers with the creative industries. Ano ba to? It is the creative industries or entrepreneurial ventures under the leisure and entertainment with a strong service components. Napakaraming example nito. Madalas na nakikita natin ito through music, industry, dance, theater, visual arts. Maybe an artist or a champion by either institutions, communities, and art market ventures that can cross over in creative industries. Sa madaling salita, ito yung madalas na company na nag-hire o gumagawa sila ng sariling institutions or organization para mag-hire ng mga artists. Such art forms are often packaged as segments of an event, pwedeng sa TV or sa social media, festival, tour packages, branded contents, designs, and any contents. And In exchange ay profit or pera. Example, Viva Record Corporation, Philippines. It is a Philippine record label owned by Viva Entertainment. Ito yung mga, marami kayong kilalang artists na under Viva Films or Viva Records. Mabigyan examples, mga natatandaan ko. AGs, si Andrew E., Lani Misalucha, Ogie Alcacid, Sarah G., Sharon Coneta, The Ones, ayan, favorite ko yung banda yan. And a lot more. Another example, the G-Force Dance Center. Napakaraming branch nito sa Manila. And, ano to? Siyempre, mga dance classes. Ayan. Sikat na sikat yan yung mga napapanood niyo sa Channel 2 na trained na mga dancers coming from this dance center. For the last, art institution, which is an artist-run initiative. It is an initiative that may exist for profit venture, business talaga siya, in the form of art gallery, art studio, publishing venture, musical production, group of professional musicians, dance group, and so on. The difference is that artists negotiate directly with that patron. Baliktad sila no crossovers. Kung crossovers ay may established business na nag-hire ng people, ito naman ay artist na nagne-negotiate ng isang business. The relationship occurs on a personal level. The decisions largely deal with what kind of artwork to create or perform, what direction it will take, or how many works will be produced or performed at a given time or scales. In an artist-run initiative, artists are in charge of administrative operations kasi business nga niya to. They may employ support staff, but the manpower are very minimal. And in terms of workforce, they operate on a small scale. However, an artist-run initiative can easily establish partnership or networks in international entities. An example nito, pero wala dito sa PowerPoint ko, is dito sa Antipolo, the Pinto Art Museum. Yes. And another example is the Pen Camp Museum in Baguio. Yan, yung mga mahilig mag-Baguio. Impossible na ilang beses na nakapunta doon, pero hindi pa kayo nakapasok kay Pen Camp Museum. Pakaganda niyan. Okay, tutur ko na lang muna kayo dito via online. The Ben Camp Museum serves as home to national artist Ben Cabrera in his collection of Philippine contemporary art works in Filipino masters, as well as his own works. Andyan lahat yun. It also features temporary exhibit for young contemporary artists, among others. Ganda dyan sa loob. Let's proceed to the last topic for today. The art-based entrepreneurial ventures. The art market is multifaceted system. Maliban ba dun sa mga art institution na diniscuss natin a while ago, where art-based entrepreneurial ventures thrive. I mean, gumawa talaga sila ng certain businesses. Siyempre, para magkapera. Pero, ang main point is to serve arts and to love arts, leisure sa mga audiences, and para magsaya ang mga tao. The number of manpower supports and experts depend on the scale at which the venture operates, and some are very hierarchical with several channels of communications. Regardless of the scales, there are usually several channels of mediation between artists and target clientele. It is an elaborate system, profits and commissions. Madalas, ito ay creative enterprise and art businesses. An art business, ayun na, direkta na, is madalas na visual arts. Yun eh. Example nito ay mga art galleries, brokerage firms, design firms, publishing house para sa mga books and printed materials, and so on. A creative enterprise in music or dance can be talent management venture or production. or a theater company with stable actors, directors, and other creative staffs. Pero tawag dun ay art businesses or art-based entrepreneurial ventures. An entrepreneurial venture, in the art may have a physical location. Hindi pwedeng wala. Meron yung office or gallery, showroom, studio, and so on. Pwedeng local, sa province, different communities, or international. And these art businesses serves as channel of mediation for the artist to connect with their audience. And their relationship between artist and clientele therefore become a very impersonal and only evidence of which taking from form of object that become possessions of the client. Pwede silang bumili, lalo yung mga galleries. Entrepreneur has a say in this kind of art form produced in the direction it will take. And their goal is for transaction to translate into sale or close deals. Hindi ka lang pwedeng magsaya, mag-enjoy, mag-sightseeing. Pwede ka rin bumili. Although the profit component is important, it is rare for entrepreneur to conduct the venture purely for the sake of profit. Talagang parang for the love of arts. Ginawa na lang talaga nila para magkapera sila. Or para kumita sila. Okay, give tayo ng iba't ibang business or art-based businesses. We have, of course, online. In case na naghahanap kayo ng mga Filipino crafts, ng mga damit, ayan, available yan sa Itchy. Hindi po ako nagsasponsor. Wala pong sponsorship. Ayan, examples lang. And yan, sikat na sikat yan. Every time, pumapasok ka sa Dep Store, SM, Robinson? Sorry, di ko alam. And also, in El Nito Boutique Art Cafe, Palawan. Sabi ni Mama maganda dyan. Nakapunta na daw siya dyan. And, isa sa mga favorite ko, pero hindi ko pa napuntahan, ang Mad Cafe. Ang ganda dyan. Ang ganda. Napanood ko na yan sa YouTube eh. Mad Cafe is one of a kind cafe that has a room for everyone. Ito, binabasa ko lang. Galing to sa Facebook page nila. And their goal is to spark creativity and let their customers experience a touch of quirky madness, hence playful yet homey interiors. Kung makikita niyo yan sa page nila, ang gaganda talaga dyan. Isang room lang siya, isang cafe lang siya, pero iba-iba yung interior designs niya. Pwedeng for solo, study area, family, pambata, halo-halo. Beautiful. Okay, that's it for our lesson for today. And of course, hindi mawawala ang assignment para may application tayo sa mga natutunan natin for today. Maaari niyong i-pause ang video na ito para mas maunawaan ninyo ang instruction. And pag medyo naguguluhan pa din, pwedeng mag-send ng PM sa akin. So, ayan, wrap up na tayo for today's lesson. Napakarami nating na topic, lalo na ang different art encounters at kung saan-saan ba natin ito nakikita. So, maaaring nagkaroon na kayo ng idea na someday, baka magkaroon ka ng sarili mong business. And bilang artist manager, marami ka talagang lugar and places kung saan makaka-encounter ka ng ganitong klase ng encounters in the arts. So, be ready. So, for today's lesson, thank you so much sa pakikinig sa mahabang explanation ni Liz. So, thank you and see you again next time, arts. Bye!